Hello, hello. Good evening, guys. Welcome to our February 12th episode of our Daily Stock Market Insights. Yes, finally, I was able to manage a session today. Now, if you're new to our channel, uh, we do this every day. Sometimes I might have some misses, but most of the time we would be doing our stock market insights on a daily basis. This is where our listeners drop a comment, and then what I would do is evaluate and analyze the charts of their chosen company. Okay, but sometimes I would just go ahead and review the stocks and just sort them according to the highly traded ones and work my way downwards. In the meantime, so I've already shared this invite to our friends over at Investagrams, and let me also go ahead and invite some of our friends in my Facebook page. So let's give them a few minutes so they can also join. Okay, finally, the joiners are growing, are increasing in number. Thank you guys. Please go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know which stock you'd like me to review. And for those who have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button so that you're also notified whenever we have this daily stock market review. So this is Investagrams, and we're just launching our tools here. Yay, Rayolet, hello! It's been a while, but thank you for joining me tonight. Okay, so let's see how the market performed. Really excited. Oh wow. What's this? ISM 1.98. We're already in the 1 peso level for ISM. Hopefully this will still give us a it broke this support. So where could it fall under, or where could it drop next? Okay, so this is the next area that I would like us to monitor. Okay, so that's a peak back in December 17. I mean December 2017. Let me just right here. Okay, so this one, and then that's the nearest area where it could potentially bounce. There's still a strong sentiment for selling, so just monitor that. I'm not saying that it will bounce at that level right away. Let me see how it looks like here. Your RSI is already giving you bullish divergence while the price was moving downwards. This, on the other hand, is giving us an upward trend in your RSI. Okay, so probably 1.86 would be an area to monitor. Same here for MBT. MBT might drop some more. Okay, hold on. It looks like it's trying to create a stabilization around the area where it is at. but there's still a volume over here much higher than the previous day. So could be here. The next possible stop would be just around 56 level. Yes. Let's check that first. If tomorrow most of the actions happen above 58.30, then I would say it will potentially bounce at that area because you have a support here, just the area where it is at right now. And 2 days, past 2 days, it was landing almost at the same point. So just monitor that. At the same time, if that breaks, the next possible area is this. Okay, so you had several days when a price hits this level. When the price hits this level, it's giving us that bounce 56.68. Okay, JFC, no movement, but this is already a good indication because it's trying to consolidate at the area where it is at right now. So chances are, uh, especially if your RSI is moving in an upward direction while it's just stabilizing at the same area, that means next moves would be above that. It'll move. It'll move up. Okay. Fruit. Fruit rested. Let's see if is it much lower? Almost at the same point. Okay. So I can say probably it will test your MA20 line again, and then let us see if well, technically what happened here was it when it reached almost near your MA20 line, there was a bounce that happened. So if that's the case, we might have another wave here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Maybe if we use Elliott wave, I'm not very expert at Elliott wave, but I know that when, let's say, a price moves up, it has several waves, sometimes 3 waves, 4 waves, or 5 waves. And after that, most of the time, a stock really goes downtrend. For example, this one, if I'm to plot it, this is your point number 1, point number 2, and then it rested. I know this is point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, or probably another point number 5 here, and then what happens after that is a decline. Okay, that could be another pattern. Okay, so probably let's wait for one more wave in this 5-point Elliott wave. That means we still have a chance to see another wave before it totally goes down. Your cue here is that if there's, let's say, another wave moving up, chances are your RSI would already show a declining momentum, something to this effect. So probably it might go something like this and then go down. So that means while the price was moving upward, your RSI is declining. So then that would already give you a cue that fruit will go down. But I feel that it will just probably touch the MA20 line. So if you want to get in still, but for me this is already a bit high. If you want to still get in, make sure you monitor this and watch the market. ICT has a strong selling pressure at the moment. We might have some more movements um, breaking down the price there. So check that level because there was a support in this area, so it might touch this level again and moves up. Okay. BPI. I feel that this is currently at a resistance level. For several days, when the price was hitting that area where it is at right now, there's a rejection that's happening, and it's still within the range of this declining pattern. So chances are it will just move here. Okay, see that? Unless this would already mean an indication that it's starting to break that downward trend. Probably wait for another green, or if most of the action again happens above this green line today, that means yeah, there's a momentum. Let us see here. Yep, something like that. Okay, so if you see one more here, another move here, then it might do something like that. Okay, tech is not looking good. It broke that MA20 line over here. Actually, it's starting to trigger that right here. So we might have some more downward movements until it'll test this level. It'll test this level, and then if it goes down further, then it might test this part, and then next would be this part. So those are the key areas to monitor. Okay, so at any time you see, let's say, ideally 3 days consecutively, or yeah, 3 days in a row where you see a pattern wherein a price stops at a certain level. 2 or 3 would be fine, would already mean something. But the more days you see a price hit a specific level and it either jumps or it rejects, then that would mean there's that's an important point. It could act as a support or a resistance. Okay, so in this case, 2 days straight over here was each time. Actually, this is still considered because this is very close. 0.1, 2, 3. So each time it touches that, then there's a bounce. Also, previously it used to be a resistance. 2, 3. See that? So that was a previous resistance. This one too. Okay, so there's a pattern right there. URC. This is not a good sign because it broke your MA20 line. That means we might trigger some more movements below that. We might continue to move in a downward direction. SMPH. SMPH, you are currently sitting at a resistance area. Okay, so that's a sign of weakness that we see right over here. So this was a peak, and then there was we ended in a red candlestick today. So extra careful if you really want to check out and add some more volume for this particular stock. Wait for it to go back to the 40.60 level before you get in. Ali also at the resistance level at the moment. So 2 days straight, each time it reaches 44 level, there's a rejection that's happening. So it might continue to go down and probably test your MA20 again. There you go. So that's our nearest support that we can see. As always, I would recommend that we enter at the support area and then take profit at the resistance. This one, I'd say we are still treating MA20 as a resistance at the moment. This for me is a doji, and a doji that appears right at the resistance level. That would mean that there's a possibility that it will decline. Okay, It's really close to this one, like what happened to actually this one. Okay, December 3, this was the resistance level, and then this was the support. This one too, right? October 24, after that it declined. Let's look for another one here. This one as well, January or June 28, and then it declined. Okay, see that there's it's easy to predict this kind of pattern. March 25 is also a um, really close. It's close to a doji, but this is what we call a shooting star. So when those things appear at the resistance area, that will decline. This one as well. Okay, this almost the same looking, November 6, 2018. It's like a cross, and it appeared right at the MA20 level because we were moving below that line. So the moment it reaches that MA20 line, that will act as a resistance. So take note of this and see how the stock looks like at the moment. Almost the same, right? So be extra careful. For me, it might go down. Oh, MPI, what did you do? So MPI broke this support over here. So it might trigger some more bearish actions or movements in the coming days. It might even trigger this lower Bollinger Band and test the 2.80, 2.90 level. Okay, so I have a position at the 3.23 area, so I don't care. I'll just wait for it to bounce back. Meg is also triggering some bearish actions here, bearish sentiment, but overall, is this considered a sideways? Still for me, it's a bearish signal, so it might continue to drop, and probably let's just see if it will stabilize at the 3.85 or 3.83 area before it bounces back up again. Okay, you also had a resistance here, so that's a key area to monitor. MWC, MWC might revisit the MA20 line. So for me, the next few days, it might trigger another downward actions, and let's see if it will have a strong support at the 11.53 area. So don't get in yet. There might be a chance for you to haggle at a much cheaper price. BDO, on the other hand, look at that. You're technically so this is your resistance area, and it's starting to trigger some bearish actions. So at one point it even reached this level, and then it recovered really quickly. Now the downside here is that we were not able to sustain and break your MA20 line, so chances are it might go back to where it bounced previously and challenged that. Okay, so let's put it there. So it will continue and even give you a chance at 144.70. If it bounces at that area, then good, but if it breaks that, then we again have to plot the next possible support, which is 141.93 level or 142. See that? So those are the key areas to monitor. Meralco triggering some bearish signals. Most actions, it might have some lower lows. So this is your low, and the next low it's much lower, and the next low is much lower. So it each time it breathes, so meaning it bounces, your resistance on the other hand, which is at the MA20 line, is very strong. Each time it touches that level, there's a rejection. So chances are, so it might continue to drop and might continue to have lower lows. So probably, we don't really know, it could drop up to 240, which is a much lower point than your 256 level. That's what you call a lower low. This one is a lower high, much lower than this previous point. Hi Jenny, what about Lotto? Let me check that out. Oh, Lotto, for me, I'd say it might continue to drop, might continue to trigger some more um, maybe hopefully it will stabilize in this area, because for 2 days, actually 3 consecutive days, a price landed at almost the same point. So I'd say around 1.99 or 2 pesos area. Hopefully it will stabilize in that area first before it bounces back up. I feel okay, so this is another point, a significant point here. I don't think that it will go down any further or much lower than this. Okay, if it will overshoot just a little bit probably, but I feel that 2 pesos or 1.99 area is a significant point here. Reason why I said that is I already see some foreign buying that happened here. Although your downside here is that there were only 22 trades, so price can be very unstable, because that 22 trades may have been attributed to only 4 or 5 individuals getting in and out of the trade. That's possible. Makes sense? If you have 10, for example, who only bought and sold, that's already around 20. Okay, so that's it for our Lotto B Core. Nice bounce for B Core, but I feel that people will take profit and will give you a chance around 2.19 level. Okay, so if that's your condition, then you can follow that. So it all depends on your rule. So for me, if I'm the person trading it, I'll just won't do anything yet unless the price reaches the 2.88 level. It's like you're haggling in a in a market, in a wet market. That's my condition. I won't buy it unless the price touches that point. So that's how you can really stay in the stock market for long term, because if you follow your emotions, chances are you will be making wrong decisions. This one as well is another example of a lower low and a lower highs and then lower lows. Okay, so lower highs would be your resistance. Each time it touches that level, if there's a rejection. So the overall trend here is a downward or bearish trend, and we're currently sitting at the resistance area, so that means it might go down. But what's interesting is that in the previous low, it just did a double bottom, almost the same point here. So if it will go down, it might just revisit your 714.45. Okay, does that make sense? So right here, it just went to your resistance area and then dropped, then recovered a little bit and then drop at the same point before it went up to your resistance area. So because of the red candlestick that we have seen in today's market, actually the past 4 days, so we feel that the market is having a difficult time breaking that resistance again, and people might continue to take profit. So if that happens, just wait for it. is 714.45. Bloom, so this is a little lower than the previous point here, and let us see how it looks in your RSI. It's giving us that look now, much higher point, so that means this is a bullish divergence. Okay, and we might see some stabilization first occurring, or yeah, it might create that stabilization or consolidation in the area before it goes up. PLC, not a good sign. I'm really sorry for those people who may have entered right here. I don't feel good with this stock because this is a really bearish signal. That means we might continue to see some more declines in the coming days. Key areas to watch out for would be, of course, this area. And then if it breaks that, then we really don't know. Could this be the lowest point? Let's see. First, okay, next area to monitor would be 0.44. That was the previous support that we have here. Okay, so stay away for now. It will continue, or it might continue to drop. TEL, I feel the TEL is just currently stabilizing at the area where it is at right now. So just wait for a green candlestick to come out before you enter in this trade. Hopefully this does not break the 100 or 1006 level. Otherwise, we might have to check out 988 again, as it might revisit that. Or 986. MAC might continue to drop still. Okay, check out what happens around 8.93. Okay, so it might just do a double bottom, and if let's say it touches this point and you still see this kind of trend, then that means you're going to have a change in direction or a bounce soon. Alright, so Light Cup said green. Oh, nice bounce here. I feel strongly for green. I feel that this is really going to be a good indication that we are going to have a change in our direction now, this time to the upside. So we might see some more bullish actions in the coming days. It's a good one. Okay, so guys, just continue to drop a comment and tell me which stock you'd like me to review. Okay, in the meantime, I'll just continue with the remaining stocks. So let's now take a look at the AP. AP is currently doing sideways here. So if I am to do a Darvas box, so it's like let's do this. Okay, so looks like in the past few days it's just doing, actually weeks, it's doing just sideways in the short term, and each time it touches this level there's a bounce that's happening. So if you would like to really engage in this stock, even if it's just doing sideways, just enter right here, 31.71 level, wait for the price to drop at that point, and then let's say it starts to bounce, then you take profit right here. But when you enter here and it continues to decline, then just go ahead and exit. Don't wait for your loss to be around 9%, 10% before you exit. It's going to be hard to, accept. But if you're already set that at any time I lose around 2 to 3%, I exit, then you're saved. Okay? You're managing your loss. How about AXLM? This is for Joseph Fernandez and SSI from Paulo. Okay, let me take a look at that. AXLM for me, let us monitor this point. 2.72, it might continue to trigger some downward movements, but not that far anymore. Okay, because there's a very significant line right here or point. This point at 2.74, each time the price hits that level, it bounces. So it might continue to challenge that, because right now in today's market it was bearish, but take a look at this, a lot of foreign buying already happening right here, so you're just within the range. Okay, so go ahead and for those people who can manage the risk, they would even just get in right away around 2.81. But for some, they wanted to wait for a green candlestick to come out first. SSI. SSI, nice bounce, but the nearest resistance that I see here is very near your MA20 line. I don't want to put it exactly on the line because the nearest one actually is here, which happened back in December 4. So I'd like to use that as my reference. So if it continues to go up, then the next would be around 2.43. Okay, those are the key areas to check. But I see that it will continue to move up, and just gauge the potential. Okay, so with this from here, from 2.27 to 2.34, how many percent is that? That's just a good 2.88, 89% gain against the possible loss, which is 6.98. So talking about risk to reward ratio, that means you have higher risk than a possible reward. Why did I say like that? Because that's the area of support, and when it drops, it could drop right there. Does that make sense? So for me, if you can still wait, I'd wait at the support level. All right, do we have any other request? Let me just go ahead and check out the other items that we have here. So DMC, DMC might stabilize first within this range before it crosses. It's starting to become more constricted. So when it does that, then the movement or the fluctuations of the price will be more consolidated. Okay, just within that range. So I see that happening in a few days, and I feel that right after that, your indication is when you see your volume starting to increase, then chances are it will go up. Cebu Pacific. We hit the resistance, and this is a bearish candlestick, so we might have some more movements downwards. We might experience some more breakdown in price. SM is currently, I'm a little bit unsure here. Well, I'd say this is somehow acting as a resistance. Okay, so be extra careful. This currently is a little bit struggling in breaking this line. So it might continue to drop and go back to the 970 level. Okay, it will challenge that. It might drop and touch that once again. Okay, so if you are an investor for this company or this stock, wait for it. You can get this at a much cheaper price. MB. Oh no. This might continue to drop. Wait for it at the MA20 line. Okay, so this one, on the other hand, has a different story. This is starting to trigger a movement or a change in direction. So if you're interested in Double Dragon, maybe some people will take profit because currently it is in the short-term resistance right here. But if you want, you can wait at the MA20 level or around 17.99. That's the nearest support that I can see. Okay, because I feel that some people will take profit first before this continues to move on the upside. DNL. DNL is currently doing a double bottom. Double bottom over here. And let's see from this point against this point. Is it much higher now? See, it's much higher. So some people would normally wait for a green candlestick to come out just to confirm. Some people are, well, it's easy because we see that the market is closed today and we know that it stopped right there. So tomorrow, observe probably how the market moved in the first 30 minutes. So just observe. Do not get in yet, because that's the most erratic period of a trading day. So see where the sentiment is heading to, and then if most of the action happens above the 8.65 level, that means people feel bullish for this particular stock. If most of the action is breaking down or there's a price breakdown where most of the action is happening below that yellow line, then chances are it will continue to decline. So that's your condition. Okay. You also have Annie right here. Annie is, for me, will first stabilize in this level, 6.56 that is. And I feel that it's just going to be in that range before it moves up again. Okay, so just hang in there and just wait for it to go back at the 6.60. FGen. FGen is also trying to create and test this area where it is at right now. So let's plot that. That for me is a support. So let us say it touches the 19.84 level, because I have a feeling it will, or 19.91, that's fine. Now take a look at how your RSI is behaving at the moment. Look at this. See that? It's much higher now. And to think that they're just, each time it touches that point, they're almost at the same area, but your RSI is showing a significant change, which is moving now to a bullish divergence. That's what we call a bullish divergence. So it looks like it respects the resistance that we created here before. I can't remember when I plotted this, but for me that was the resistance, and this I made as a support. So it, since we broke that MA20 line, so it might go back to 8.95 before it can potentially bounce. Oops, I forgot about FGen. FGen is 19.81 SEC-B. No change. It's creating a stabilization at the area where it is at right now. JGS might continue to drop. Okay, careful with this. It might continue to drop. 69 is the next support that I see here. Okay, around 69 level. Sun, be extra careful. We have officially crossed the MA20 line and we're now moving on a downward trend. So let us see if it will stabilize at 1.53, which is the nearest support that I see, or 1.55. So if you have entered somewhere here or here, I hope you have already taken profit, if not all, at least partially, right? So you know that you have already locked in some gains. But for the next moves, I feel that it will continue to go down. Okay, so I think that is it for now. If you're watching the replay of this, because this is automatically saved in YouTube. Let's say you watch this tomorrow, go ahead and just drop a comment on this video, so that when I do my live tomorrow or any recording, I can prioritize your request. In the meantime, please go ahead and subscribe. I am so excited to really grow this network or this channel, so that we can be of help to our kids in the future, right? So if they want to engage in the stock market, they know that there are some free reference online that they can all learn from. I personally have learned everything about the stock market because of YouTube, because of the websites like Investograms, PSE Edge, and they're all free. So this is also a way of paying it forward. Okay, so the only thing that will continue to inspire me is, of course, with your support. If you subscribe to our channel and we grow our channel, then everybody happy. Okay, for now, thank you guys for joining me tonight, and let's chat again tomorrow. Okay, bye bye for now.